Mark was born in a forgotten corner of the city, a place where dreams rarely grew and success was something seen only in movies. His house was a small, tin-roofed shack with leaking ceilings and broken windows. His parents worked tirelessly just to feed the family, often going to bed hungry so Mark could eat. From a young age, Mark learned that life was hard. But instead of breaking him, it built his hunger, not just for food, but for a better life. He didn't have toys, fancy clothes, or a comfortable bed, but he had something more powerful, a burning desire to rise. While other kids played, Mark helped his father pull carts at the market. After school, he would shine shoes near the bus stand, earning just enough to buy bread for the family. At night, under the dim street lamp, he would sit with borrowed books and teach himself everything he could find. One day, when he was 12, Mark saw a rich man step out of a sleek black car and walk into a five-star hotel. For a moment, their eyes met. Mark didn't feel envy. He felt curiosity. How did he get there? He wondered. That night, Mark made a promise to himself. One day, I'll walk into a hotel like that, not to serve, but to stay. By the time Mark finished high school, he was already doing part-time jobs, carrying luggage, cleaning restaurants, even selling vegetables on weekends. His grades were average, but his hustle was unmatched. He couldn't afford college, so he took a job as a cleaner at a local internet cafe. Most workers there wasted their time, but Mark saw an opportunity. After his shift ended, he stayed back to learn how websites worked, how people made money online, how digital businesses were growing. He would watch YouTube tutorials, read blogs, and observe customers closely. That's when he discovered the world of freelancing. With borrowed money, he bought a second-hand laptop and began offering services online. Data entry, small graphic designs, writing short product descriptions. The pay was low, and the hours were long, but he kept going. Some days he earned just $5, but he reinvested it, buying better tools, faster internet, and learning more skills. Soon, he discovered digital marketing. Something about it clicked. He understood people, their needs, and how to sell products. He read hundreds of case studies and took every free course he could find. He even offered to work for free for a few small businesses just to gain experience. People began to notice. His first breakthrough came when a small online store paid him $200 to run Facebook ads. His campaign increased their sales by 30% in 2 weeks. That store referred him to another, and another. Within a year, Mark went from struggling freelancer to a respected digital marketing consultant. But he didn't stop there. He began building his own team, young boys and girls from poor backgrounds, just like him. He trained them, gave them laptops, and taught them everything he knew. He believed success meant nothing unless you lift others with you. By age 25, Mark had launched his own digital marketing agency. His company grew rapidly, handling clients from India, the US, and Europe. His strategies were data-driven, creative, and most of all, effective. Clients loved working with him, not just because of his talent, but because of his humility and work ethic. Still, he lived simply. He wore the same old watch, stayed in a small rented apartment, and continued helping his parents and community. By age 30, Mark's agency had crossed $1 million in annual revenue. From the boy who once begged for bread, he had become a millionaire. But his biggest joy wasn't the money. It was going back to the same streets where he once shined shoes, and setting up a free computer learning center for kids who couldn't afford education. He gave scholarships, built libraries, and even funded startups by young entrepreneurs from slums. One day, a news channel interviewed him. The reporter asked, "Mark, what's the secret behind your success?" Mark smiled and replied, "It's simple. I never waited for luck. I worked, I failed, I learned, and I never gave up. When doors didn't open, I built my own." The reporter asked, "Did you ever feel like quitting?" Mark looked thoughtful and said, "Every single day. But then I'd remember why I started. I wasn't just doing this for me. I was doing it for every child who is told he's too poor, too small, too uneducated to dream big. I wanted to prove them wrong." Today, Mark owns multiple companies, mentors hundreds of young minds, and speaks at global conferences. Yet he still carries a photo of his old tin roof house in his wallet. It reminds him of where he came from and how far belief and hard work can take you. Key lessons from Mark's story. Hard work beats circumstance. Mark was born with nothing, but built a life beyond imagination through sheer effort. Learn, adapt, and grow. He kept learning, evolving and applying his knowledge, even when resources were scarce. Stay humble, help others. Mark didn't forget his roots. True success includes lifting others along the way. Never wait for the perfect moment. He started with what he had. No excuses, no delays. Believe in yourself when no one else does. Mark's journey began the day he believed his future could be different. Final message. Mark's journey from a hungry boy on the streets to a millionaire entrepreneur is not just a story. It's a blueprint for anyone who dares to dream and is willing to outwork every doubt, every failure, and every hardship. You don't need a rich background to build a rich future. You need courage, consistency, and the refusal to quit. Like Mark, your journey may be slow, your path may be tough. But remember, greatness belongs to those who never give up.